Hi, this is Keeping It Real with Jackie. Um, I was thinking not too long ago that if I wrote a book about my life, what would it be about? And of course, my family is reality show worthy sometimes. The things that we do is like, it's hard to believe unless you've actually lived life with my family. They are brutally honest people and they tell it like it is. My family's the type, they don't hold back with their thinking. I guess we were kind of raised that way, coming from parents who always spoke their minds. Like my dad, sometimes it's like when we're at like functions, I'll be like, God, what's he gonna say next? Not like I'm embarrassed of him, because I'm not. It's more or less like, what's he gonna say that is gonna be like profound, or something that somebody may be like, wow, I can't believe he said that. But I'm never embarrassed by what my father has to say. Even my mom, like, she's the type, like, people will come to our house when we were growing up, and she was always welcoming. Like, no matter if she's mad at you or had issue with you, as long as you respected our home and addressed anyone in our house. Like, if you were that type who came in and didn't say hello, she would give you a warning, be like, you know what, if you can't say hello to everybody in my house, you can go. And our house was the type, like, if you showed up at our house, like, say we just ordered, we made you a plate. Like, we didn't even care, like, if we had enough or not. We made sure everybody ate. And my mom wasn't the type to run the parents and be like, oh, they did this, oh, they did that, or I heard that. She was like the cool mom of the neighborhood. Even if like she knew the kid was smoking cigarettes, she would be like, it's not my business to tell. And that always made her the cool mom, and I remember one time my sister got in trouble with one of her friends, and the moms of the neighborhood had a meeting about my mom, and my mom was like, excuse me, like, my kid is not the worst kid. Like, even when my sister was messing up at that time, she defended my sister to the end. Like, she didn't care who you weren't going to talk crap about her kid. Like, that was just the type of person my mom has always been to us. And like, if you needed to talk, like, my parents are the type, like, if you needed to talk, like, about anything, they didn't care if it was sex, or like you had a problem with drugs or whatever, or you had something happen in your past that you were ashamed of. My parents were never the type to be like, oh, why did you do that? How are you do that? What did you do? They just had your back no matter what. Like, they treated everyone as if they were their kid. I remember my sister's best friend got kicked out of the house and she had nowhere to go, and my mom took her in. She didn't care if she was staying months, years, whatever. She gave her a home, until she was ready to rectify things with her mom. And when she got sick, she even took her to the doctor. She made sure she got her appointments, and any testing done, whatever was needed, she made sure she had it. And I remember first time I met my adopted brother, the Parents Association head person came to our house, and she said, like, nobody in the neighborhood would take him in. Nobody in the neighborhood. They all was like, oh, we don't have room, or we can't do that, or we don't want to ruin our homes or whatever. And my mom said, okay, he's welcome. No questions asked. She said, he's welcome to stay here. And she let him stay. He was there for a while, like, and even when he had troubles with the law, my mom was the one who was there bailing him out. Like, she made sure he was okay, like 100%, no matter what. Like, he knew my mom was his mom, and he respected her for like that. Like, he loved my mom to death, which is one of the reasons like his death affected her so much, because it was like losing one of her own children. And I still remember when my mom met my best friend, like, I still, like, she called him her son-in-law from the door, and I'm like, son-in-law, we're not married, like, but she trusted him beyond belief. And I remember the time he didn't have a car. My mom, I went to her, because at the time I don't drive, of course I don't drive still, but she was like, I trust him. Just like that. She was like, no, nothing to it, it's okay. So she gave him a car, a brand new car, because she considered him family, and she trusted him. And she's always been welcome, even in his family, and I respect my parents for that. Like, they have anyone who we care about, they consider family. Like, even my dad, like, when he had went to my dad about something, my dad said, no issue, no problem, we all make mistakes, as long as you learn and grow from them, you're always going to be a part of this family. And he was surprised my dad was so giving and loving, and I'm like, my dad's always been that way. My dad and my mom don't judge. They know people make mistakes, they know we're all human, and I'm glad that I have always had that stability in me, like, to forgive. And my parents always told us that people are human, people make mistakes, people are going to be people. And maybe that's where I got my side from. Like, when I talk to my parents, it's like not just like talking to my parents, it's like talking to my friends. And I talk to my dad just about every day, and they both keep me grounded and support me no matter what. And to have parents like that, like, even though people, like, when my parents got divorced, all I would hear is, oh, your parents, you guys were born out of like a loveless marriage, and I'm like, it doesn't matter how we were born, it matters is how they treated their children. Like, my parents always said, if we're mad at each other, at the end of the day, your siblings are the ones who are going to have your back. At the end of the day, your siblings come first, your family comes first, family is important. And that's always what I liked about my best friend, because he's always felt the same, that family comes first, and he always welcomed my family as his, and vice versa. And no matter what you go through, whether you're blood or not, the people you care about the most are your family. The people who've always had your back and been there are your family. The people, if they're blood or not, are your family. And I don't invite everybody into my home. So the people that walk through my door, I consider family. If you walk through my door, you're family. Like, we're the type, we won't even make you a plate if we'll be like, if you don't get it yourself, or we'll be like, the refrigerator's right there, And I invite them all to Thanksgiving, because my family is way extended. And I'm glad to have those people that I consider to this day my family, like the extension of me, other than my parents and my siblings and my nieces and nephews. My best friend and his sister and, like, my cousin, they're all my family. And no matter what we go through, I would give my left arm. I would, like, if they needed a kidney, they know they could always call me, if they needed anything. If something happened to them, I would drop everything, because that's what family is about.